Hey YouTube, Jim here. Do you want to see a magic trick? Ooh, magic! Aren't you impressed? Okay, so it's not actual magic. Hey, what do you want from me? My name isn't Jim Deany or David Copperjim. Hey, listen, I may not know how to do magic, but I can ruin it for other magicians with this archive revealing the truth behind the top 10 greatest magic tricks. Want to see another magic trick? Click that subscribe button and presto! Our subscriber count went up. Do the same with a thumbs up and abracadabra! The video likes went up. Is it magic fun? Let us know about your own magic tricks in the comments.
Number 10. The Floating Man. You may have seen street performers that can defy gravity and float in midair. What you don't see are mechanics set in place to keep them from toppling over. Typically, the individual, who's often in loose-fitting clothing, is accompanied by what looks like a walking stick and a decorative base. That base is covering a device that's attached to the walking stick, which is then attached to a steel base upon which the trickster sits. Number 9. The Signed Card Trick. You sign a playing card, the magician rips it up into pieces, and somehow, seconds later, produces that same card. Seeing as how they couldn't possibly reproduce your signature, how do you think they pull it off? Something must happen between when they get the card and when they tear it up, right? You're absolutely correct. It's true that the magician tears up a card, but it's not the one with the signature. There's typically a decoy card that they'll slip into place, and that's what gets torn up instead. Number 8. Cutting a person in half. This is a classic that's been revealed on numerous occasions, but in case you missed it, let's walk through it quickly. Sometimes called the death saw. This trick requires 2 flexible people and 2 separate tables with a compartment on each. In one compartment, one assistant waits unseen. As the second assistant, the one that starts off visible to the audience, climbs into the box, the 2 move in such a way that it appears as though the one on stage is stretched to the other table. Then the magic happens, and the magician gets to work, appearing as though he's cutting through one solid body. Number 7. Levitation Trick. This is a little bit different than the street performer levitation, as the magician has to put on this big show to prove his assistant is really levitating, which of course they aren't. The magician's assistant lays down on a table supported between 2 objects, and the audience watches in amazement as he or she levitates in front of their eyes. What isn't seen is the rig hooked up to the magician, which is typically covered by the assistant's long flowing dress. To prove she's floating in midair, the magician usually uses a hula hoop. The rig is designed in such a way to let the hula hoop pass, as if there's nothing holding the assistant up. Number 6. The Underwater Escape, Water Tank Escape. Popularized by Houdini, this trick is dangerous if not pulled off perfectly. Bound in a straitjacket and chains and placed into a tank of water, the magician must escape the impossible before drowning. There's no surprising trickery when it comes to the tank escape. Though the performer may look like they're strapped in tight, their assistants ensure that there's some give in the straitjacket. The locks used are also not typically real and can be finagled open. Number 5. Rabbit Out of a Hat. This is another classic, one that PETA may not be too fond of. But they're not a YouTube advertiser, so we're going for it. What's needed for this to work is a table, a tablecloth, a sack, and of course, a rabbit. The rabbit is placed in a sack and attached to the table, out of view of the audience. The magician then very swiftly takes the empty hat, slides the rabbit into it, and without anyone even realizing there were some quick hand movements, pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Number 4. Hand Through Glass Trick. Have you ever put your hand through a pane of glass? Chances are it wasn't as impressive as when a magician does it. Also, you may have required stitches afterward. The magician doesn't. What the magician does differently is they use a real mirror, 2 fake mirror panels, and a specially cut out black screen. At the start of the performance, the real mirror is placed behind the fake panels. This creates a space for the performer's hand to reach through, and, at the close of the trick, the mirrors are swapped again. Number 3. The Bullet Catch. It's an impressive-looking trick, but a trick nonetheless. There are a variety of ways to pull off the bullet catch, but typically involves a rigged pistol or one that fires blanks. If there's an exploding target involved, it's usually attached to a squib and rigged to explode on cue. If the magician is using blanks, all they have to do is hold a bullet in their mouth and produce it as if they caught it. Other methods include a wax bullet or magnetic bullet, the latter of which is removed prior to firing via a ramrod with a magnetic tip. Number 2. Walking on water. We doubt this is how Jesus did it, but there is some clever trickery when it comes to magicians walking on H2O. Usually the water that the trickster is walking on is murky and unclear, and this is completely intentional. While it may look like they're walking on water, and they usually put on a good show to convince the audience, there's a solid, near-invisible plastic surface between them and the body of water. Number 1. Vanishing Statue of Liberty. How do you make the Statue of Liberty vanish without the use of positively charged pink mood slime? Just ask David Copperfield, who in 1983 was able to accomplish this in front of a live audience. To make the monument disappear, Copperfield had all of the lights on Liberty Island shut off, and the area was illuminated by matching lighting on 2 platforms. Just before making the statue disappear, a screen was raised, allowing Copperfield's genius engineering to take effect. It was at this moment that the audience and the pillars moved. Loud music and bright lights were used to essentially distract and confuse the audience into not realizing the stage was moving. For the 80s, it was an elaborate trick. Today, it's a typical Friday night show in Vegas. Thanks for watching. Before they disappear, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, click the bell, like this video, and leave a comment about how we may have ruined magic for you forever.